What's up, people? It's your boy here, D1. This is no trade recap, just simply market overview. Day in the market, as always. A simple market overview on our BDC trade. Now, this is not my this is not my usual uh strategy for entering. My trade recaps is basically focused on the fact that I use New York session to as my bias for each and every one of my trades, but this is just a random trade that I take casually on crypto pairs. And this is just a simple one. It was basically off structure, market structure, which we saw. We had this trend, the breaker structure within the trend, higher highs, higher lows, blah blah blah. You know how the shit goes. So I was really pretty confident with this trade. I mean, considering the fact that we had this OB. I mean, this is the price action that caused this whole freaking rip through. Diddy rip through the fucking moon into the ass chocolate. I don't know, man. This is the like, bro, greatest type of erection ever. So we had that, and I was super confident to take my trade off on this OB, considering the fact that this was the whole market orchestrator for this whole rip through. On top of that, this was within market structure of highs, and we have been pretty bullish on crypto, and that was simply the reason for my entry. And I took the buy on it, and psych, market took us out. We had a loss on that, but the main thing that was really concerned about this was that is the fact that we were still on the same trend. We were still on the same fact that this was still the same trend. We got stopped out, yes, but that was because we had our stops basically of the fact that we were using the OB as the orchestrator of the market. We still had this liquidity that was here. We still had this liquidity that market did not even come anywhere near them. So it was basically as if we were just begging for market to fucking puncture through our holes and, you know, make us scream all day. This was during December. But nah, that didn't happen, bro. I mean, we just got stopped out. We didn't cry about that. It was a normal loss, just like any day when you take a loss. And aside from that, we had a pretty decent week. I mean, this was basically the only loss we have had on that. We had a pretty decent week across BDC, across our other pairs that we trade on. But aside from that, when we had this setup that we took, this was a trade recap that I made. And on the group, I made mention that not necessarily because we had this setup, which was basically in line with this, and the fact that we had it on the 1 minute or was it 3 minute time frame, that doesn't necessarily mean that we can just use this as our reason or as an entry to just long it all the way to the freaking moon just because price gave us that quick boza to the upside. Not necessarily that, because you still have to look at conferences in which market can, take you out. You still have to look at the higher picture, and this was basically a trade based off on New York Sesh and sticking it strictly to New York Sesh, not trying to chase what the market is doing. And after seeing this market reaction of that, and seeing the gaps in which it left, I was like, market was certainly going to come into these areas, and we're going to look for a setup. And I made mention of that in our Discord group. And on top of that, we saw this break off this whole trend that we had here. Off that break, we had this liquidity left on the top. The market started coming down into our areas. I quickly looked for the whole area that orchestrated this, and which we found. Basically, this trade was taken on the 1 hour time frame. So we had that, and what was really perfect about this trade was it really resonated with our setup before that, because we had the trade before that, and our and exit area was within our next entry area, and this was the OB. We see how all these liquidities right up right there, and that was exactly where we targeted for our entry. And just like on our Discord group, I gave out this the signal for everyone to follow along and tap into it, which we all did. All right, and that's basically the same trade. We're still on up until now. Market is still very slow, but of course we've really practiced our safe trade management, shifting our stop loss to break even. Well, aside from that, this was basically the breakdown of how I got this whole setup, which is basically still good. I know it doesn't it's not in line with the way we trade Nasdaq and the one I showed in my trading recap. And just like I said, this is not the same way, because we are not using new accessories. It's just basically looking at the market as it is without having to use a session, but as its parameter or as its bias, or for our bias. We're just basically looking at market in from its pure form based on market structure, and that's what we used, or I used, to find these setups that we had and what we're taking on now. So I hope you guys learned something. So I'll leave a link in my description to my Discord, and if you have any follow-up questions or anything you want to say, you can comment it down. Feel free to comment it down. I'll look at it and we'll see about that. All right, peace.